Let me tell me when you're done, when you're ready.
I've been recording.
Hello, survivors. Welcome to Let's Die, the His vs. Hers guide to the Dragon Apocalypse.
Bow,
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 bow, bow, bow.
bow. We're wearing the same clothes as last time.
Complete coincidence.
Complete
Hi,
coincidence.
Brett.
Hey,
What have you
me.
been what have you been up to?
Oh, let's see. So I helped a little old lady cross the street. Unfortunately, the zombies from 2 weeks ago did emerge, and I had to trip her.
Was she
Uh,
a zombie?
well, she became one shortly thereafter.
Yeah.
It was really sad.
Yeah.
But I definitely said a word of mourning in my mind as I made my escape.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, did
it.
a dragon come in and
Oh no,
eat
that's
her
this
corpse?
week.
Yeah, exactly. Transitions, Brett. It's a thing.
Yeah, so according to my schedule, that's this week. The
Uh-huh.
dragon has not appeared yet, but
Oh.
apparently I'm supposed to like walk into an open fire and just kind of like take a nap in there and see what
Okay.
happens. Okay.
Are you
Um,
gonna burn or are you a Targaryen?
Well, I mean, a true dragon is embraces the flames, as it were. Uh, so I'm going to be turned to cinders for
Yeah,
sure.
same.
Uh,
Yeah, so listeners, today, this episode, we are talking about dragons and specifically about House of the Dragon, that lovely
it's a
TV series
yeah,
that
it's a spinoff from that Throny game
the Throny game
where
show.
everyone's real throne.
No.
Well, only when they're
Um,
related to each other.
so, Brett,
Oh,
speaking of Throny games, have you watched Throny games or read any of the
okay.
books or like what is your if
Fuck
we're
me.
talking about no, if we're talking about if we're talking about House of Dragon and all of George R. R. Martin's universe, what is your relationship with that universe?
My relationship is that I'm waiting on George R. R. Martin to do anything because he says he's doing stuff and then he never gets around to it. Do, real quick, like, is there like some Vegas odds we can take on whether or not George R. R. Martin will pass away before he finishes the Game of Thrones books? No, I'm not trying to
Oh.
be a bummer. I'm just saying realistically, he's an old man now, right? How old is J.
I'm
Martin?
pretty sure he has like said in an interview before, like because some interviewer was like, "What do you say to the people who say that you're gonna die before
Oh
whatever?"
wow,
And his
morbid.
response was like, "I say fuck you."
Wow.
So George R.
I
R.
mean,
Martin
that's
specifically is telling you to fuck
I
yourself,
I
Brett.
look, I don't want him to. I I want him to finish his work when he feels like it's ready. I
No,
think
I'm
it's
pretty sure.
fantastic that he was able to cash them damn checks from HBO.
Yeah,
Uh More power to the
continuing to.
artists.
Yeah.
So like I'm not sad. To be clear, I've never read the books.
Okay.
Who's got the time to read? I don't even know how to read. No one's taught me. Um
I read the books.
he's 74
Um,
by the way.
Whatever.
But even if he
Our
did
president is older
it,
than that.
yeah, even if he did pass away and I fucked myself, you can't deny that he's got like a file on his computer with like the halfway done whatever. Like someone's gonna step in and finish it.
Oh yeah, he has a
Yeah,
team. Like
it's not. You'll get it eventually.
they'll just get Brando Sando to finish it like he finished Wheel of Time.
Here's the real question: when those books do come out, what are the odds that we're getting a new, like, if not a new series, what about Game of Thrones movies
Oh.
series? Why not? Lord of the Rings has its own movies.
Okay, so
Why not Game of Thrones?
okay, this is clarity to the fact that you only watched the first season of Game
They
of Thrones.
reboot everything these days.
No. So Brett has not watched all of
That's
Game of
me.
Thrones.
Hi, my name is Brett.
Correct.
I'm a guy.
The TV show tied it all up in a knot. So and the TV show also surpassed the books.
Right, but in 10 years, they're gonna reboot it.
No.
They couldn't even wait 5 years and they already had House of the Dragons come out.
No.
No, what do you mean no? Yes, that's a thing
House
that
of the
happened.
Dragon. House of the Dragon is about the obviously the story of the Targaryens, which is a
Right.
family
It's a
in
prequel, right?
it's a family in the universe. It is the
By a few thousand years.
couple hundred years.
Couple hundred, I'm sorry.
The
But all the incest is still the same.
there is still incest, yes.
Yeah.
Um
They look, George R. R. Martin, he knows his audience, right? Like he's like, I know what you guys are going to fucking RedTube to look at.
It's like I know
Ah,
I know West Virginians.
hey, now, come on now. Stepsister, I'm stuck in the washing machine.
Exactly. Yep.
They know what we're into. I mean, not me specifically.
You said we.
I meant you too.
So
Oh, stepbrother.
no. Okay, so my relationship with
Stepmom's
this
holding you at a
content
gunpoint to show you their dick.
is my relationship with this content. I watched all of Game of Thrones as it came out. I have thoughts, but
You're a thought.
I am a thought that has thoughts, thoughtception. Um, I've read all the books up until now, so I've
Mm,
read, and by that I mean all of the books in the Song of Ice and Fire series.
hmm
I did start Fire and Blood, which is the history of the Targaryen family.
I'm glad you specified up until when, just in case he shadow dropped the new book before Christmas or something. Like,
I mean, I doubt he's gonna shadow drop anything.
of course not.
But I've read up. Okay, I'll say Dance of Dragons. I've read up through Dance of Dragons, which is what, as of this recording, has been currently published. Um, and I watched all of House of Dragon. So, for people who might not have watched House of Dragon, Bret included,
Hmm
a synopsis from Vulture.com, quote, almost 2 centuries before the Long Night, Red Wedding, or the Battle of the Bastards, which are all things that happen in Game of Thrones, another massive conflict wreaked havoc across Westeros. The first of many planned spin offs of HBO's landmark series Game of Thrones goes back to an era when the Targaryens ruled the Seven Kingdoms and dragons were plentiful.
hmm
Based on material from George R. R. Martin's book Fire and Blood, House of the Dragon tells the story of the Dance of Dragons and the events leading up to the brutal Civil War. King Viserys I of his name, Targaryen, rules over an unprecedented time of peace, but questions about his succession threaten to send the realm into chaos. Will Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen sit on the Iron Throne, or is Westeros not ready for a queen?
So this is it. So this is based on a book called Dance of Dragons and not
It's
fully fabricated by HBO.
no, it's based on a book called Fire and Blood,
Oh, I mean, that's what I meant to say.
and
Sure.
not yeah, and it's not this is not fabricated by HBO. George R. R.
Okay.
Martin was like
Because
helping with this
I
stuff.
just assumed that they were just milking shit. They're like, ah, well, Game of Thrones is over. Let's just do a prequel.
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, good to know.
No, this is based on a thing. So, and it's all
Based
true.
on
It's
a
like
thing.
all lore.
All things are based on
Um,
a thing.
it's based on a thing that exists.
Oh, okay. Hey, should we take one of those quizzes that's like, what fucking Game of Thrones house are you?
I once took what Game of Thrones character are you? And I got
That's different.
Egret.
I don't know what that is.
No, because you didn't watch very far. So,
No, I to be clear, I haven't mentioned it yet. I uh I finished watching the first season.
of Game of Thrones.
I was so certain that this was going to be a show that was for me. Because naturally, this is before HBO stream as a streaming service, so like you had to pay extra to have HBO on your TV. So I did not do that. So I just waited for it to come out on Blu-ray or DVD, and then I bought it. And because I was certain it was something I would enjoy, and I loved it up until the season finale for season one. And then I was like, oh, this is gonna be one of those shows where the bad guys don't get their comeuppance for like 100 episodes, and just
Correct.
shit just happens to piss you off and kill off your favorite characters. I saw what this show was after the end of season one. I realized what it was, and I was like, tapping out.
Oh, I love that though. So the thing that got me was the fact that a lot of it I hate when characters have plot armor. Like when someone is like in Harry Potter, for example. Like
Mm,
that nothing is going to happen to the three main characters because
sure.
you're the three main characters
Well,
and
also
blah,
it's
blah,
based
blah,
on
blah.
children's books. No, I to be clear, I also like it when the bad guys win. Sometimes that's why I love Jeepers Creepers. The bad guy wins.
Mhm.
Um, it makes for it's more compelling when there's actual stakes,
Yeah.
right? Uh, but when it's too close to reality and you're just constantly being shit on by the bad guys, like, come on, give me something to make me feel good, right? Make the Kingslayer Jamie Lannister, like, make him like trip and stub his toe and like get like a dirty scar on his knee that his girlfriend, sister thinks is unattractive. Give me something. Give me some sort of comeuppance.
Stuff does happen later.
I'm sure it does, but
there is
but not until after a long time.
There is like, I just love it because it doesn't matter if you're good or bad. Like shit happens to you no matter what, and that's truth right there. Like, life doesn't care that you're a good person or a bad person. You're gonna get screwed with. And
just
I love
like
that.
real life, and that's
just
what
like real life.
That's what I don't like.
Okay, that's like. I want my fantasy to be more real, and it sounds like you want your fantasy to remain fantasy.
To be clear,
you want an escape from your real life.
Totally
Totally fair.
Oh yeah, like I want. Ooh, I just threw my mouse across the room. I was so excited. I want all the good people to have all the best things and be happy forever. I want all the puppers to live forever and never die or be hurt in any way. And I want all the bad guys to get what's coming to them.
Well, not for you then.
This isn't made by Disney? What the fuck?
No, and it's one of the few things left that's not made by Disney.
Not yet. So real quick, Cody, before we keep going, what do you think of money? Is it not important to happiness? Is it nice to have money? Is it, I love money, it gives me security and lets me have nice things? Or I believe money is the most important thing. Money solves all the problems.
Oh, you are doing this. Are you asking this for you?
I'm asking you this for you, and then I'm gonna, yeah.
Okay, so you're having me do this survey.
Oh, yeah, sure am.
Okay, so my real thing is like, I only care about money insofar as it takes care of my needs.
Okay.
Like, I want to not be worried. I don't want to be.
It gives me security and lets me have nice things.
Yeah, sure.
Sure, got you. What strategy would you use to rule the world? Quite simply, if you don't follow me, I will publicly torture you to death. Gosh, Cody, that's brutal. I would mate with a witch and warlock in the hope that black magic and our evil offspring would bring me great power. Oh, wow. Ooh, I'd help the people I liked and betray the ones who challenged me. Or I would empower all the oppressed people of the world in the hope that they would be grateful and support me.
Probably that last one. All the other ones suck.
I do like mating, though. How far would you go to honor your family? You hate your family, you'd marry a stranger and abandon your name. You don't hate your family, but you won't sacrifice yourself for your family. You could give up a lot for your family, but not your life or anything at all. You would die for your family.
It's the one that's like, I don't hate my family, but I'm not going to sacrifice myself.
Okay, all right. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
New Zealand.
Okay, well, how about a huge estate in the Italian countryside?
No.
With a staff. How about a casino hotel penthouse in Vegas? What about a rustic villa high atop a glorious mountain with a view for miles?
What's the last one?
A cottage in a beautiful seaside town.
Mountain.
Okay. Which army would you prefer? I don't know how long this is. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. Let's go.
I'd have a pretty small army. Ahoy! I wouldn't need a stupid army. I've got a navy. I'd have a large, well-trained army that would serve me because they fear me, and for the gold, of course. Or I would have a huge army of warriors who adore me. Even though their weapons weren't the best, our sheer numbers would overwhelm anyone.
I'd have a small army.
You'd have a pretty small army. Yeah. Which of the following is your favorite movie? The Lord of the Rings? Forrest Gump? Harry Potter?
No,
How to Train Your Dragon?
Did go back.
Okay,
you knew that before.
Yeah. Who's your favorite historical leader? Genghis Khan?
No.
Boudica?
No.
Great name. Catherine the Great? Napoleon?
Catherine the Great.
Okay. Which one of these countries would you prefer to rule? Liechtenstein?
Liechtenstein. No.
Cuba?
No.
India? The United States of America.
USA.
Okay.
President Codey.
Let's go! Mandatory. All schools study bugs.
All school study bugs. Everyone has to read The Lord of the Rings.
Leave no child
unbugged
left behind and unbugged, and leave no stone unturned. We're going to discover all of them. If you had someone who was challenging you at every turn and making your life lots of trouble,
kill them.
What would you? Okay, well, I can. Okay, so there's two options here that could fit what you said.
Okay.
Make him fly without wings, or
Uh,
pour molten metal on his head. The other two do not involve killing him.
What are the other two?
Falsely accuse him of murder or forgive him and try to talk it out. Hey, we all make mistakes.
Make him fly without wings.
Oh, fucking brutal. You are a boss of a large company. What qualities would you look for when hiring a manager? A kind person with good manners? A good person without much experience but great passion to learn? Clever with a touch of ruthlessness? Or would sell his grandpa to increase sales?
The clever with a touch of ruthlessness.
Which is your ideal mode of transportation? A bus, subway, your horse, Subaru Forester, or a Tesla Model S loaded in parentheses. Like, it's got to be loaded.
Subaru Forester.
The fuck is so disparate. You are taking a walk on the beach and pick up a bag with $10,000 in it. What do? You would keep it for yourself. You would take half and donate the other half to a good cause. You would take it to the police. It's either stolen or someone's dropped it by accident and is having a very bad day. Or you use it to purchase a gun so that you could rob a bank and get even more money. How is this even a choice?
The problem is that, like, if you suddenly just got $10,000, I'm pretty sure the IRS is going to be like, where the fuck did you get that money?
Assuming, how are they going to find out? If you pick up a bag with $10,000 in it, how are they going to know?
Cash, you right.
Yeah, like,
take that shit.
Assuming it's not a check, because if it's a check, you're not going to be able to cash it without getting caught.
Take that shit.
Yeah, for sure. Keep it for your own. Because if we're talking like 10 million, then you donate half. For me.
Well, it's one of those things. Yeah, it's one of those things that, like, I guess it depends. So, like, if you take it to the cops.
Mm-hmm.
And you tell them I found this money, and if, like, after a month or something, like, no one claims it and then you get it,
yeah,
I'd be fine with I'd be like, done. Like,
no,
go
fuck
ahead
that.
And take
like,
it.
I could really use 10 grand, so
I could also really
I'm keeping that shit unless there's like unless it's covered in blood or cocaine. Well,
yeah,
I mean, even then I might be tempted to keep it.
Make it take money.
Yeah, so like I could use 10 grand, and 10 grand is it's not a low amount of money, but it's not enough that I would donate half of it to charity. Like
okay.
if we're talking $100,000, yeah.
Okay.
If we're talking $1 million, yeah. Like, for sure, I would pay it forward. But 10 grand doesn't, in all reality's sake, doesn't get you that much more than just some security.
No, yeah. Anyway, continue.
And maybe like pay off one student loan. You find out your family is in the mob. The government has offered you a great deal of money to get proof. What do you do? Do you turn them all in? You could totally use the cash. Would you only turn in the leaders, then take the money and skip town? Would you do a mob intervention? Anyone who wanted to stay with the mob would be turned in. I would share the reward with everyone else. Or get yourself a machine gun and back your family up no matter what.
God, I don't like any of these answers. Because, like, my answer would just be like, I don't know anything. And then leave. I'm not going to get a machine gun, though.
I feel like your answer would align with the mob intervention. Anyone who wanted to stay with the mob would be turned in. You would then share the reward with everyone.
I wouldn't want them turned in, but sure, that's the closest.
Yeah. Who would you trust the most? Your best friend from school? A person with lots of friends? Which is weird because, like, just because a person has lots of friends doesn't make them your friend. That's weird. Yeah. Your parents or nobody?
Parents.
You inherited a company. God damn, I'm sorry. I didn't realize this was so long. You inherited content. You inherited a company from a rich aunt and must take a position. What sounds good to you? The lunchroom monitor. Hey, you. That's Tom's tuna fish sandwich. Put that down. Or mailroom clerk. I'm happy to work and I can read everyone's mail. Or CMO. I like words and making pretty pictures and interviewing models. Yep, that's the job for me. I don't like that at all. That sounds just problematic. CEO. The buck stops here. I want to think up new products, hire and fire, and boss everyone around.
Mailroom. Except I'm not going to read anyone's thing. I'm just going to throw a podcast on and get shit done.
Totally fair. Hang on one second. It's loading. Hang on. All right, so we accidentally skipped one. I don't want to talk about it. You are Napoleon and you have successfully secured a large part of Europe in the name of France. At what point will you stop? I would stop right there. Peace is important. I would want to control everything in Europe. France must completely rule the continent to be safe and wealthy. Are Europe, Asia, and Africa too much to ask for? The world! I will rule it all! It literally says evil laugh. You're welcome.
I'm trying to think. So, like, if I'm Napoleon, if it's me, I wouldn't even conquer shit.
Well, at this point, you've already secured a large part of Europe in the name of
Yeah, just
France.
stop there.
So,
Fuck it.
okay, yeah.
I'm done.
Your rich, I think this is the last one. Your rich uncle has died, and now you can change your life with a very strange inheritance condition. For each close relative you cut out of your life, you will receive $1 million. What would you do? My relatives are all jerks. I don't even care which ones I never see again. Do cousins count? How much money can I make? Or, after ranking everyone, I am pleased to announce I have chosen my non-good father, my mean grandfather, and my sister Andrea because she used to steal all my clothes. Sayonara, losers. Or, two words. Bye, Grandma. You should have been nicer to me. Now I can pay for the psychotherapy you made me need. Or, nothing. Family is sacred and much more important than power, fame, or money.
Yeah, nothing.
Wow, really?
Yeah. I also have a really small family. I don't have any siblings.
Ah, I see.
So it's just my two grandmas, my parents.
So I have your house here. Are
Okay.
you excited? You're definitely the one we all love. You're kind, smart, and noble, and strikingly attractive. While life seems to be particularly harsh for you, you meet each challenge with intelligence and grace. That doesn't mean you are a pushover, though. When it is time to right a wrong, you are a force to be reckoned with. Be proud to be a snowflake because winter is coming. You are House Stark.
Yee! The motherfucking dire wolves, yo.
The direwolves are sick.
They are really cool. My mom tried to get me to read these books when I was like 12 because she was like, they have wolves in them. You'll love it. Which is crazy, like looking back. I guess I wasn't 12. I was probably like 15. But like crazy looking back because there was a lot of incest. And I was just like, what the fuck? But I watched it and I read the book and I was like, meh. And then when the show was coming out, I read the first one before the show came out. And then by the time the show did come out, I read the second one. But I did always like House Stark. It's great. It's a great,
Yeah, I
great
foresee a
show.
lot of tragedy in your future if you're House Stark,
Yeah, true.
unfortunately. I didn't mean to totally hijack a large portion of the show there.
Well,
Um,
so just talking about House of the Dragon, I guess like what you have not seen it. What from Game of Thrones, what would you expect in the House of the Dragon, knowing that it is a Martin product and it is something um from HBO? Like if you've already seen Game of Thrones, like what would you expect?
what would I expect
Yeah, so
from?
the question there, will Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen sit on the Iron
Yeah,
Throne,
yeah,
or is
yeah.
Westeros not ready for a queen? What would you think?
So, based on what I know about the show, which is admittedly very little, in that it follows the House Targaryen, I know it's very like at the from the beginning of the original Game of Thrones show, they basically just set up the Targaryen house as like, okay, these guys used to be in charge of everybody and rule from the Iron Throne. And then they don't really specify exactly why, like they don't spend a lot of time as to why they were ousted necessarily. And we just kind of get dumped into the story where Daenerys and her shithead brother are trying to leverage their ancestry for power with
Mm-hmm.
Cal Drogo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, so I thought I didn't realize it was. Well, I know I said thousands. I don't know what I thought, but I knew it was going to be about. I would expect the fall of the House of Targaryen and why they're no longer in power in the
Mm-hmm.
modern game of quotation mokes quotation mokes. Am I okay? I'm not okay.
Quotation marks.
Yeah, modern day Game of Thrones, like
Yeah.
the current state of Westeros as of the original HBO series.
Yeah.
I apologize for being so scrambled. I'm also taking a which house am I in test. So,
Okay. Well,
in the
I will
spirit of
say,
that, who the fuck are any of these people? Boudica, I don't know who that is. Catherine the Great, I don't know who that is. I know who Napoleon is, but do I?
Genghis Khan was like,
I picked Genghis Khan.
oh, okay.
Hey, say what you will about Genghis Khan, but he united a nation.
By fucking everybody and making everybody have his
Yeah,
children.
right. But he also gave everyone jobs. Like he could have overtaken you for sure, but you could earn your place in society by just working and doing a job. So
Anyway,
eh.
so no, so in Game of Thrones, spoilers for the end of Game of Thrones and all of that. Um, basically, you learn that like the history and I guess this is spoilers for the end of House of Dragon too, but
What?
this is
I'm just
already knowledge that we know. Um, Daenerys's father, Aegon Targaryen,
mm-hmm.
I think was his name. He was the Mad King. He went crazy
Okay.
and he
I
was
I
trying
do
to
remember them mentioning him in the original Game of Thrones series.
yeah, and so and he's called Jamie Lannister is called the Kingslayer because he killed the Mad King because the Mad King was literally saying burn them all. He was trying to kill everyone.
Yeah, that's no good.
Um, and so Jamie Lannister killed him, and then that happened right when like Robert Baratheon and a couple of the other people were like rolling up into King's Landing. And so that's when like then Robert Baratheon was like, I'm gonna be king now. And so like near that time, most of the dragons were already dead, if not all the dragons were already dead. But in House of the Dragon, the dragons are still very much alive, and you get to know a lot more about like the Targaryen family and how they did. First of all, it seems like you can't throw a fucking stone without hitting a Targaryen.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'm a little confused because at one point in the show, they show that like one of the Targaryens, I'm not going to say who, has had a bunch of bastards. And like there's like a bunch of kids that in King's Landing that are all just like Targaryen bastards. And so like don't know how there's suddenly no Targaryens around in Game of Thrones time because they're everywhere in this series. So that'll be interesting to see. Though we do know some people killed like I think it was again spoilers for Game of Thrones. Joffrey went and had a bunch of Robert Baratheon's bastards like slaughtered. So,
So,
what's your house?
yep. I, I am also part of House Stark. We're
Okay.
related, which means we'll be fucking any day now.
No, the Starks don't
Um,
do that.
oh, you're right. That would have been if we were both
Targaryen
Targaryen. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or Lannister possibly.
Lannister. Right. That's the one I was thinking of. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Um, will be with honor is what that'll be, and then we'll get promptly screwed over and die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
My answers weren't exactly the same as yours. I did pick a few things differently than you did, and I still got House Stark. So it is what
Well,
it is.
I feel like we're just good noodles.
Because, well, I mean, I did pick up a Tommy gun to kill everybody. So it is what it is. Although, like, I didn't pick the United States either. I picked Liechtenstein. God, can
Liechtenstein.
you imagine being the president of the United States? This just sounds like a nightmare to me.
Well, I guess it doesn't say president. It just says what was the exact question? Like if you owned a country,
If
you
you were
led a
in
country.
charge, I think it was like something like if you were
I'll
in
just
charge
change
of.
it from a presidency to something else.
Oh, I'm
Screw
sure
it.
that'll go over real well. I'm sure people
They
will.
did it in
It
China.
presenting Empress Cody Mathis. Welcome, Empress.
I am no. I just will just start calling the president's doctor. Um. So
I really had to think about that one.
specifically House of Dragon. So before I watched the first season, I was really excited. Um, for the new thing. I thought that there might be some
Mhm.
problems with the CGI of the dragons, but they freaking nailed it. I loved the
Why
dragons.
would you suspect that? It's HBO. They got money.
See, but like since it's a spinoff though, I was
Hmm.
like, are they gonna half-ass this? They
Nah.
definitely did not. They didn't half-ass the story either.
Hmm.
Um,
I was gonna say if there's one thing that they would have half-assed, it would have been the story, right? Like the story is usually the first thing that suffers when it comes to transitioning things over from like a book or something else.
mhm.
But I totally don't expect like CGI or
Hmm.
special effects to suffer, just because Game of Thrones is such a huge brand that they would be willing to throw like their full monetary weight behind it. So,
I mean, and they did a kick-ass job. So I would say it's on par with the first few seasons of Game of Thrones, like the quality of that.
mhm.
Not the last season of Game of Thrones, that's dumpster fire. Um,
Does this
the
take place in Westeros
uh-huh.
still? It doesn't take place in Easteros or Northeros or Southteros.
No.
What
So
a
it's
shame.
in King's Landing. Like they actually show like
Okay.
when they land
I
and stuff like
do.
that.
Have you ever been to a Southteroast? A Kenny G's Southteroasters? That's a old timey chicken joint joke.
Is it really?
Does Kenny G still have a chicken restaurant?
I don't know. I don't know who
Get
Kenny
at me
G
in the
is.
comments, please.
I don't know who
Kenny G's something roasters. You not familiar?
I don't know who Kenny G is.
You don't know Kenny? You're fired.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. You're not fired.
Bye guys.
Wait, what? Am I not? Okay, so Kenny G's the guy that plays like the clarinet or whatever. Who am I thinking of?
I don't know.
This is terrible. Kenny Rogers Roaster.
Okay, who is Kenny Rogers?
Kenny, you don't know who Kenny Rogers is?
Neither did you.
He's a musician. I can't believe you don't know who Kenny Rogers is.
I don't know who Kenny Rogers is.
Kenny Rogers is, look, I remember off the top of my head,
Is
he
he from
was
West
a
Virginia?
no. He is from like Texas or something. But he was like an American singer, songwriter, and actor. Inducted in the Country Music Hall of Fame somewhere around 2013. He died in about somewhere around March 20th, 2020 at the age of 81. And he started his own restaurant line called Kenny Rogers. This is totally has nothing to do with Game of Thrones. I'm so sorry. Please continue.
I'm just trying to figure out
I gotta
why I should know him.
I gotta Google to see if these restaurants still exist. I'm so sorry.
I don't know why I would know him.
He sings that song. It's not unusual to be loved by anyone.
Hmm.
Ba-da-da-da-da. You don't know that one?
Nope.
And don't get at me. I know who actually sang that song, and fuck him. He keeps doxing us for copyright infringement.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that for the TV show they did a good job. I thought that the um the intrigue is there, the corruption, the like there were a couple times in the series where I was like on the edge of my seat, like ready. There, I still got surprised by a lot of things. Like you would think that after this many Game of Thrones shits that like you would know what to expect or whatever, but there were still a couple times where I like audibly gasped. Also, what's his nuts is in this? Gosh, I don't know.
What's his nuts?
Gosh, what he was one of the doctors.
Uh, quick aside while you look that up, there is one Kenny Rogers Roasters restaurant left in the world, and
Yeah,
it's in Nuevo Leon, Mexico.
Matt Smith. Matt Smith is one of the Targaryens, and
What an unfortunately common name.
he's also in Doctor Who.
The
A lot of
only other
people.
Kenny Rogers roasters listed on Google entirely is
Oh,
in Canada, and it is now something called a mucho burrito. So if you've been to mucho burrito, please let me know.
I've not. Loved a lot of the cast. They do these time jumps in House of Dragons. So like the first few episodes are with like one set of actors, and then the last few like they jump to a different set of actors for some of the characters. So like Princess Rhaenyra and Alicent Hightower have a young actress and an older
Mhm.
actress because they jump like 20 years at one point.
I'm a fan of like time jumps because this it's one
Mm-hmm.
thing that makes me lose interest in a show. It's filler episodes and exposition that I don't care about.
Yeah.
Looking at you, anime. Um,
Looking at you, Dragon Ball Z.
if it feel yeah, okay, Dragon Ball Z is not even that boring. Like what it is like 10 minutes of a guy screaming and someone else going, his power level is exceeding what we previously thought was capable. Look, he's still powering up. Ah!
It's just so dumb.
He's powered up. No, wait, he's still going. Ah!
I love how it keeps cutting you out.
Yeah, it's
after
totally,
you scream for a little bit.
It's okay.
Yeah, so they do that. They basically like
love you, Dragon Ball Z.
Because Viserys the First, acted by Paddy Considine, did a freaking phenomenal job. Love that character. He, like, gosh, what was I even saying? I got distracted by how much I love Paddy Considine.
I'm looking up how to become a franchise for Kenny Rogers Roasters.
Oh,
we should start a restaurant.
Viserys the First, like his reign is super peaceful. Like there's not any big wars during his time, and he's like throughout the series he's constantly like, was I a good king? And everyone's like, we were really peaceful throughout your reign. Of course you're a good king. And he's just like keeps questioning it. But because the fact that there's like not any big wars that they're fighting or anything, the fact that they do have those time skips is super appreciated, because it would be boring as hell to just like watch these characters go through nothing. So I loved the time jumps, and they do it very artfully, and it keeps you interested and keeps the story moving. Love it. Super interested in what's going to happen in the second season. Again, watching the finale, I'm not going to say what happens, but I did audibly gasp, and I had to stop like in the last like couple minutes, and I had to stop it, and I was like, that didn't just happen. And like I stopped it and like went back, and I was like, holy crap. So definitely recommend watching it.
I would recommend, if you're around Malaysia, check out Kenny Rogers Roasters if you can still find one. Pretty heavy Malaysian franchise opportunity by this brand, according to their website.
Anyway, survivors, we will take a short break.
Ouch.
And when we come back, we will have our guest, and we will be putting them through the ringer, and we will see if
before you get that hook and drag me off stage, Codey and Bret's Game of Thrones roasters. We could have our brick oven in the shape of a dragon head that burns your chicken flesh so that you can eat it. And then we'll have performance art in the middle of it. People love performance art.
So let us see if our guest
will reenact the scene with the crown on head where he molten golds the guy. Drogo does. Only instead of
like dipping. It's like when you dip something. It's like fondue.
Well, yeah, but only instead of gold, like it's like macaroni and cheese, and the guy's like, ah! He's just covered in delicious mac and cheese. Then we let the kids come up and just lick it off his head, like. Really get the audience engaged. I think there's a franchise opportunity here. George R.R. Monster, George R.R. Martin's. He looks like a Kenny Rogers Roasters. Let's be real. That guy went to Kenny Rogers Roasters in his day.
Oh, we don't. This is not a podcast where we body shame people.
We definitely don't. Look at me. I'm a monster. You can't see me. It's blurry. Whatever. We'll see you after the break. We love you.
Let's see if our guest will die or survive.
I know what I'm banking on. I hope they live forever.
Nope, they're going to die.
Uh-oh. Bye.
Piggy warning. Piggy warning. Clear the testing site. The test subject has been released. Oink, piggy, oink.
Oh, Codey, welcome back and dear listener, welcome back to the show. Thank you, Momputer, for shooting the test subjects into the testing site. Codey, who do we got this week? Is it the same testing subjects as last time?
This week, we are subjecting our subjects, Klayshen and Nicodemus Rex.
Ah, yes, our zombie survivors from a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all might remember Cisco, or Klayshen, as he's known, from Watchers of the Stuff, from the Pod Dog Productions, and Nico is a artist whose art you should have seen by now. If you didn't go to that deviantart.com/the4real deal, link in the description. If you didn't go to it since the last couple weeks ago, what are you doing? Why do you hate me? Is my question. Cody, why do you hate me?
Do you want the answers alphabetically or chronologically?
They're the same, aren't they?
No.
Let's hear you list them.
No, we're good.
Both
we don't have
alpha-
the time.
Fair enough. So dear listener, if you're not familiar with this segment, this is part where we play our little game. Oh boy, do I want to play one with these boys. Ooh.
You don't got to get weird about it. It's for science.
Science, correct. I'm sorry.
Science.
But truly, if it's of science, isn't it also of pleasure?
No.
I'm going to treat...
I can tell you, science is not for pleasure.
Well...
Don't do this to yourself, kids.
Then me and this podcast aren't related because I'm going to treat it like it's my stepsister. Klayshen, say hi.
Hi.
Nicodemus Rex, say hi.
Hello.
Whoa. We said say hi.
Well, yeah.
Oh, no,
breaking
my
the
mistake.
rules, mister.
Getting all formal on us now.
You both wake up quite suddenly. In fact, as though you were dozing and daydreaming, suddenly you've come to. You're both in quite exquisite, refined clothing, I should say. Very dapper. You both are able to look around and surmise that you are on either side of a series of pews. There are guests everywhere. They're all seated. They're all mingling and chatting amongst themselves. Did Cody just turn back to the camera and just mouth, "Oh shit"? I'm not sure. That's right. You two find yourselves at a fancy wedding. Isn't that nice?
So screwed.
So first off, I think last time we let off with Cisco. So Nick, why don't we start with you? And I could have also be wrong about that order. So Nick, let's just continue to railroad Cisco, and we'll introduce him in a minute. And Nick, what do you want to do? You start to hear the organ playing the classic sound of a wedding song. What's up, pup?
Well, because I was invited to this wedding, and it was a bit of a it was what you call an obligation. I'm going to go ahead and scope out the best exits to slip out the back as soon as possible. The minute I see the opportunity.
That's quite rude to sneak off to the reception before the rest of the wedding party. But I want to say, ooh, yeah. So you do in fact see that there is only one exit to this room. It is the one that you entered to get here, even though you don't remember doing so. It is also guarded. There are a couple of armed guards there. They're clad in fine chainmail and armor, as well as studded leather. And they have very clearly swords at the ready to defend this wedding to the death.
And they're on the inside, facing in.
Correct. I wouldn't say that. Yeah, correct. That is what you can see. Correct. Yes.
Well, that seems weird, but I'm not going to metagame too bad. I'd start wandering around to see if I see anyone who looks cool enough to have a conversation with.
That is an objectively bizarre question. And in fact, you do. You see a man in a full purple dragon onesie seated across the pew from you.
Excellent. Most excellent. Glad to see that someone else is dressed for the occasion.
I have wings.
And we're gonna. Oh, you know what, Cody? Pick an animal. Oh,
Cody is having audio difficulties.
uh-oh.
no!
Spaghettios.
Womp womp.
While Cody sorts out her audio issues, let's turn to Google. Random animal generator. Nick, you realize that you yourself are in a yak onesie, the most refined and fancy and dignified of yak onesies.
It's a onesie. It's a onesie wedding. 100%. If I get married again, that's going to be the thing. Onesie wedding. Everybody is going to be in a onesie.
My sister got married in a onesie. Cody, you back with us?
Did she?
I never left.
Oh, okay. When I called upon ye abandoned me.
No,
left,
my audio went down. So this
Left-
is a wedding. It's a wedding of onesies.
left
Yes.
mine heart to death. Yes, everyone apparently is wearing onesies.
Best
Nick-
wedding.
Nick is wearing a yak onesie, and Klayshen is wearing a purple dragon onesie. Speaking of which, the devil. Klayshen, what are you doing?
I was also invited. And
How would you know that?
Well, I mean, Nick said he was invited, and I figured I was invited too.
Yeah, I don't know how he would know that.
You didn't call him out on it, so I was taking advantage
Well,
of
I mean,
it.
it stands to
Fine,
reason.
fine,
We're-
fine,
Oh wait, are
fine.
we wedding crashers? That could be a thing.
You are yourselves. You've woken up suddenly, seated in the pews of this fancy wedding, and
I'm-
apparently dressed in onesies. Not
I'm-
exactly what I had in mind, but that's what's happened.
I'm going to check my pockets to see if I have an invitation.
You're doing what now?
I'm going to check my onesie pockets to see if I have an invitation.
You would have given
Ah.
the invitation at the door, though.
Oh, okay.
Wait
I
a
mean,
minute, I don't
honestly, if I mean, why would you leave a wedding when there's food?
That is very true.
Mm-hmm.
But even though I've never seen Game of Thrones, I do know the weddings are never good.
Game of Thrones. What's that?
Mystery,
It's the re-
mystery.
Throne of Games.
Hence the reason I came prepared. No, I'm just gonna sit there and like look around and see like what else is going on, like because like I just woke up. I'm like, what the hell? Where am I? Why am I in my onesie?
You just see a assortment of wedding guests, similarly dressed in other ridiculous onesies. The church organ's playing some music, and that's about it. It's a very fancy wedding. I'll say there's an arch of flowers up by the altar. The priest is also standing up there waiting and the groom, of course, is waiting for the bride to arrive. The groom looks like a shaggy reddish haired man with a shabby beard. He wears a onesie of a fish, and it's red with some like cyan undertones to it. But it isn't. Don't let it be mistaken. It is in fact a fish, and he is waiting ever so patiently for his betrothed to arrive.
What kind of onesie does the priest have?
That's a good question, Cody. What is the priest wearing?
The priest is wearing a onesie that is a nun's outfit.
A nun
So,
onesie.
not even a onesie, it's just a robe.
No, it is a onesie that makes him look like a nun's outfit. So like on the onesie, it has
It's like a
her,
habit.
yeah, like her habit.
Are we
So-
But it's a onesie, 100%.
are we intimating that nuns are animals?
Who said onesies had to be animals?
That is true.
I had just assumed. Yeah, that's what you see, Klayshen.
Okay. I'm just gonna sit there and be patient because I mean we're at a wedding. There's gonna be cake and food eventually.
Yeah, one should say.
I'm not gonna bet a game too much, but anyways, that's where I went in.
All right. Nick, you said you were looking for someone cool to talk to. Are you following through on that?
Well, I mean, you're telling me now that I never had an invitation to begin with.
I don't know.
Like-
Do you?
I don't know. Like, right? I check my onesie to see what's in the pockets, if there are pockets. Does it have pockets?
Yeah.
Okay, what's in
Only
them?
the best onesies. Come on.
Ah, damn it. Cody, can you please draw? This is what we call in D&D terms a nat 20. Cody, go ahead and draw for me a present card from the box.
Always the best ones. These have pockets.
Yes. Best onesies have pockets. In your pocket, you have a stopwatch.
Ooh, fancy. A brilliant gold stopwatch is in your pocket, Nick.
Oh, I check it to see if it works and how it
Uh,
works.
It is actually ticking.
Very nice.
It's actually it's been counting. It's around 40 minutes right now. And it's still counting up.
Interesting. All
Mhm.
right. I'll make a mental note of that. And
Yeah. One of us should.
you know what? You know what? I need to find a restroom. Somebody will look for that.
You attempt to leave from the only exit, and one of the guards pounds his spear upon the floor and say, "No one may leave until the good lady does arrive."
So I had to use the bathroom, man. What do you want me to do here?
He looks around nervously, knowing full well that if he lets a guest leave, he could be in serious trouble, probably. But the lady is to arrive soon. You cannot hold it?
All right, I'll give it a minute. I'm holding you to that.
See to it that you do. And
I go stand.
reclaim your seat, my lord, he says with a snide tone.
All right, well, I'm gonna sit down again near the back so I can get out the door or run to the restroom as soon as possible.
You do sit down. However, I just want to point out that your ruse of having to use the bathroom has come true, and now you are holding in a turd. What was one thing suddenly has turned into something else more alarming.
Oh no! All right, well,
Cisco,
Mhm.
Klayshen,
Yes.
you're up, pup.
Okay. Do I see him trying to leave? Do I see him like doing the PP dance, but but more uncomfortable?
You saw him walk over and talk to a guard. However, because of just the noise in the room and the distance, you weren't quite able to hear what they were talking about. And you do see him go sit on his hands as though he's got just a secret just bursting forth, ready to come out. And he just can't keep it in.
I'm gonna go sit beside of him. If there's a room beside of him.
Okay. What
Okay.
are you gonna do?
I'm just gonna like, if there's room like to sit beside of him without like bumping somebody else out of their seat, I'm gonna go sit beside of him. Like, you look like you don't belong here too.
yep, nope. I don't know what's going on. All I know is they won't let me leave to use the restroom, and I'm pretty pissed about it. Yeah, I mean, what kind of wedding are they like? You can't run to the restroom. Like, come on,
That's something suspicious here. Like, I don't even remember coming here. Do you remember coming here?
Oh, of course not. But I don't remember a lot of things. So
I mean, last I remember, like, there was this like gas station and like drinking.
I think something's starting. Okay.
The sound of music has interrupted your two's conversation as a beautiful young lady with long hair going halfway down her back is the only way I can describe beautiful young ladies, I guess.
Short-haired women are not attractive, apparently.
That's not true at all.
You just said it.
Trying to get me in trouble. How else do you describe just a generic attractive white lady? Like,
I mean,
if I gave you a picture of 100 white women, how would you describe them?
Differently.
This lady with eyes that are on her face, and she has a nose. She has somewhat full lips, but in a not very pronounced jawline. She's wearing a wedding dress. And of course a veil. It is beautiful. It is completely just white, and just the tail of it runs
Is
for
it
what
lace?
seems to be miles.
Is it lace
Oh,
or satin?
of course, it's both. Why not? It's everything you could have ever whatever, dear listener, whatever your dream wedding dress looks like, that's what it looks like,
Yes, Klayshen.
but fancier.
Is the wedding dress also a onesie?
She's wearing the onesie underneath it.
What kind of onesie does she have?
Cody, what kind of onesie is it?
She has a sexy caterpillar onesie underneath.
That's right.
Beautiful.
She has the most fanciest, most beautiful wedding dress you can imagine. However, because of its lace and satin nature, you can see through it, and that she's wearing a sexy caterpillar onesie. You could see her legs go for miles in that thing, baby. She approaches the altar where her beaming groom to be just shines on her, and the music stops, and the priest motions for everyone to sit. Everyone, by the way, is nudged each other and couldn't help but notice that neither you, Nick, nor you, Cisco, stood when the bride came in. What are you doing?
Well, I mean, he told us to sit, so like we're already sitting. Mission accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
I keep checking the door, see if there's an opportunity where I can slip past one of those guards to use the restroom. Damn it!
The guards ain't gonna move.
Maybe one of them will fall asleep.
The guards are glaring at you.
Yeah,
They are aware of you.
yeah, very. I would say so. Verily, forsooth, we are aware of thee.
Fuck. Okay.
Cisco, you say fuck out loud a little too loud, and one of the guards approach you. Do you dare curse in the presence of our beloved bride?
No.
He buys it. But
it was him. Point to the guy beside me. It was him. Not the other one.
He eyes you suspiciously, but he does return back to his post. Nick, what are you gonna do?
I guess for now, I'm just gonna keep an eye on things. Waiting for the moment to strike.
Ladies, gentlemen, others, we are gathered here today to bear witness to the holy matrimony of, hang on, Lord Edmund Tolley and one Rosalind Frey. Welcome. They begin the ceremony of marrying this lord and lady together. Surely this will end well, right? What are you guys doing now? Everyone's attention is fixated on the ceremony at B. You might even see the guards kind of whispering to each other somewhat.
Whose turn is it?
Nick, why don't you go ahead and go?
Okay. I'm gonna try to see if I can hear what the guards are whispering about. Maybe I'll hear when they're going to leave.
In fact, the moment you try to inch a little bit closer, a little bit of poo comes out. There's no chance you're getting up without shitting yourself. So no, you do not succeed. You have to go to the bathroom really bad, and I want to just point out that you painted yourself into this corner. Cisco?
I'm pretty sure that's not how it works, but okay.
gonna do something similar to what he did because that sounded like I was thinking the same thing. Except I'm gonna see if I can read their lips. I'm just gonna glance over and see if I can read their lips.
Cisco, you suddenly know how to read lips, and you're able to make out that one of the guards is saying, "All the preparations for tonight ready." And you hear, and you can see the lips of the other guard go, "Yes, indeed. These fools won't know what hit them. Yes, they're gonna love this wedding. It'll be a real crashed wedding." And then one's like, "That should be a thing. Wedding crashes. We could totally make that into our own play." And they just go on and on about this fictitious play that they're gonna write together called the Crashers of Ye Old Wedding, where they crash weddings and bang chicks and
God,
don't wear protection. What are you choosing to do with this information?
Specific.
Are you stealing their idea to start your own production of Ye Old Wedding Crashers?
Brett, get out of my head. I was just thinking that I'm gonna make a mental note. So if I get out of this live, we're gonna become millionaires. Okay. Anyways. I'm going to I'm gonna keep an eye suspiciously on everything around me because something's not kosher. And I'm gonna
you don't see any salt, but it is, it just seems like a normal wedding. The priest is up there talking a bunch of shit about God or some shit. The bride and groom are paying attention to that, and all the guests are paying attention to that. The guy next to you, though, he's a wiggling worm. He got to go real bad, and it's painfully obvious.
Okay. Distraction.
Just please, God.
Okay.
The wedding seems to be about a little over halfway done, maybe.
Okay. I'm just gonna be like, let it go. Just let it go.
Oh, you're using him as the distraction. Oh no. Nick, what are you doing with that?
No.
This man in the purple dragon onesie has leaned over to you and just said, "Let it go. Let it go."
Make like an ice queen and just let it go. just the most loudest, wettest, nastiest shit.
You know what? I'm gonna.
Can't believe I'll let you guys
You look to your right, and you see that there's kind of an area that there's a decorative tree that that is a possible hiding spot, out of the eye of everyone.
Mercy, oh you gods, thank you for mercy.
You're welcome. And
just shit in your onesie.
You put him in this position. I'm gonna take him
I was
out.
gonna let him sink or swim. He mentioned the bathroom.
Well,
I didn't even think about it.
Open the flap of your onesie and just let it go.
No, so you see it. It is about 9 meters away from you.
Fucking meters.
Yes, 9 meters away from you.
That's a far way.
It's like
to try to sneak.
It's like across the room. So you're on the left side of the room, and it's on the right side.
You're gonna have to cross the aisle.
Yeah, Nick.
But you are in the back.
What are you gonna do, Nick?
Well, let's see.
That's your saving grace. I tried, man. I tried.
I mean, I could cause him distraction and he could run to the bathroom.
You're trying to use him as a distraction.
Well, that's besides the point.
Well, I mean, oh man. I don't know. I don't even know what to do with this.
Well,
drop
let's
the
see.
flap and let it go.
You have a couple of options, one of which is drop the flap and let it go, You could bolt for the plant. You could try to, I don't know,
Keep holding
interact
it.
with guests.
I mean,
or
in
guards or-
theory,
yeah.
I mean, in theory, all we'd have to do is wait until he says, "Does anybody object?"
They don't-
Not this
so
time.
they
You hear a
don't-
priest go, "Does anyone object to this blessed union? Speak now, or forever hold thine peace." The room goes dead silent. Now let's roll to see if you can hold it in.
My friend's got a shit.
I hate this timeline.
This is what you hear. The sound of what can only be described as a balloon with air escaping from it is heard, and the guests confusedly looked left and right, not sure where the sound came from, as it echoes off all the walls. And
Does it smell?
Cisco, it hits you full in the face. Tears begin running down your cheeks. It burns like acid. Nick, it's not apparent that it came from. It's not apparent that it came from you. I'll say that much.
Just because, fuck it. Fuck it. I'm gonna go. Oh my god! It got in my mouth.
Nick is so pissed off right now. Very good. So one of the guards, after hearing the sound, looks over to the other guard and goes, "Damn it, Jerry, I told you not to eat that rotten piece of meat I saw in the den the other day." And Jerry, flush red, clearly is taking the fall for this one. He embarrassedly rustles out of the room, and the other guard follows him.
I'm going to follow after them, like acting like I'm going to puke,
Well,
because I probably am.
It's Nick's turn.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Get to you in a
No,
second.
if they're going, I'm going.
Are you gonna say anything, or are you just gonna? Because all the crowd has turned and looked at the guard's exit.
Well,
They didn't look at me yelling, "Oh my god, it got in my mouth."
It's not your turn yet, Cisco.
Oh, I thought I said that on my end of my turn.
well, that was kind of rude, and I follow.
Okay.
You roll up your sleeves like you're gonna go give him his comeuppance, and you successfully exit the wedding. Cisco, Klayshen, I can only assume you're following.
Yeah, but I'm gonna act like I'm about to puke, like legitimately.
Luckily, there's nothing in your tummy yet. Nick, you make it to the nearest restroom. Pantaloons unsoiled.
Thank God.
You've successfully relieved yourself, and only a few people of the wedding guests are looking at you with content at the reception. Clearly, the rest of the wedding has gone off without a hitch. What could possibly go wrong at this point in the night? Food, as far as the eye can see, drink, cheer and merry is happening all around you. Cisco, what are you doing?
Well, I went to the bathroom and promptly puked because I just got a mouthful.
There was nothing in your tummy, so you just dry heaved.
Yeah, I'm fine
Nice.
with that. Like lots of blood, lots of busted blood vessels in my face.
Keep in mind that this is like medieval times, so the restroom was basically just an outhouse. While you were there, Cisco, you also found Codey. Do you mind pulling a present card, a little gift card for me?
I found it in like the corner of the courtyard.
From the desk of Let's Die. From the deck of Let's Die.
And this is Cisco finding this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so on
Please.
your way out of the bathroom, you're like out of the outhouse area.
I was gonna put it in there. Like you got lucky Cody is
No, he's
very
like on
kind.
his way out, and he sees
Well, not that lucky then.
a map. A map.
A map! There is a map on the backside of the door to the outhouse. It's tattered. It's kind of brown. It clearly lists the nearby area entirely. It also has written on it, we strike at the reception, and has like little dashes and little red X's over your exact location. What are you going to do?
I give the reception and has a thing over top of the outhouse.
What was that?
So it says we're gonna strike at the reception, yet it has a giant X over the outhouse.
The general area, the field in where the reception is taking place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this a multi-person outhouse or is it just a single outhouse?
There's a lot of them, but I would say they're all singles.
Okay.
Thank goodness for Nick.
I'm going to look for Nick.
Okay.
Do I see him? First, I'm gonna take the map down. I'm gonna
Okay.
take the map with me.
You do not see him among the wedding guests. However, he does see you. Nick, you are probably, I don't know, several meters from wherever Klayshen is, exiting the restroom. You've composed yourself successfully, and you're eyeballing some hors d'oeuvres to undo the damage that was done. What are you doing next?
My current plan is to grab a turkey leg or something and try to leave early, because this has been a miserable experience and I don't want to be here any longer than I have to be.
The old Irish goodbye.
So I do want to note that there are guards surrounding this reception. However,
These guys again, huh?
well, yeah, there's a few of them scattered. They're observing the festivities. Although you technically could leave, it would be seen as quite rude to do so, given your station and the station of those that were just married. Do you want to try and leave with turkey hand in tow? Turkey leg.
Yeah, I do a little salute at my fellow guest who I've had such an awkward bonding experience with, and I head for one of the exits.
Oh, so you actually, okay, so you've kind of like wave him down a little bit. Sure. So he does see that, so now he sees you. And on your way out, one of the guards stops you. Aye, where do you think you're going?
There's an emergency I gotta go attend to.
An emergency? What kind of emergency? And don't you think you should report it to the guard?
Well, it's just, my cat is real sick, you see.
Your little pussy? Yeah? You got a little pussy? All the other
That is
nearby
certainly a
guards
name for a cat.
overhear this bully making fun of your pussy and laughing at you. Why don't you just turn around and enjoy some of the high life there, my lord? There's more turkey to be had for you, and all the drink you can drink. Get good and drinked.
Right. I'm just gonna go try a different exit. I don't want to deal with this guy.
Okay. While you're doing that, Cisco, you see this go down.
Okay. I'm going to head towards him. I'm going to head towards Nick and be like, you get the fuck out of here. I'm just going to whisper to him like real quiet. You get the fuck out of here now.
I mean, I was planning. Oh, like that. Okay.
Like,
All right, I'm still gonna try a
shit's
different
about to
exit
defend.
first.
Okay.
Oh,
Like,
what's the
hold up.
closest exit?
Like,
Closest exit, the one with that guy who was just being a dick.
That's the closest and biggest exit, but
Yeah, and that guy's still pointing at you, going, "Oh, you got a little pussy back at home. He can't get taken care of now. He's scared for his little pussy. You want to give it a little pet."
so question, what is the status of my bowels at the moment?
I mean, you got done throwing up. You know that post-hangover throw up where you feel great, like after you've gotten it all out of your system?
Do I have to use the bathroom?
No, of course not. Your body is empty, but your mouth just is like dog shit right now.
You went.
Okay.
You when you went to the bathroom, you took care of everything.
Fuck. Was totally gonna shit myself just so I could leave on purpose.
What? I will say no one's particularly paying attention to either of you. They're having a party. This is a reception for this wedding.
Well, yeah, but I figured accidentally shitting myself is a good reason for the guards to let me leave.
Well, why would you be wanting to leave?
Because I found the map. This is where striking at the fucking reception.
Are you saying this out loud?
No, I'm talking. No, I'm talking to Cody.
Have you
okay.
shared this information?
Not with him yet. No, I'm going. I'm going to lead him to a corner where nobody's around. I'm going to show him the map.
Ooh,
Be like, you need to get the fuck out of Dodge.
You two managed to, in the ruckus of the party, managed to have a conversation with one another without anyone overhearing. In which, Klayshen, you say what now?
We need to get the fuck out of Dodge because something is about to hit. Shit is about to hit the fan of this reception.
I don't want to hear any more talk about shit today, but I agree.
Bad crap is about to hit the fan because
By
I
the
found
way,
this
Nick,
map.
you do not know what a Dodge is, but continue.
Okay, wait. All right, we're going. All right, let's find an exit with.
What's the least guarded exit?
Codey?
The least guarded exit is looks like there's a door to a kitchen, and there's a lot of people coming and going from there.
Oh, perfect.
So that's a possibility.
I grab an empty tray.
And I follow I grab a few cups.
You grabbed an empty tray and a few cups, and you successfully make your way to the exit. In doing so, you cross the threshold unabated.
Okay. Right. Now, to your castle or mine?
As you enter the kitchen, you start to hear the loud sounds of shouting. Something has begun to happen outside. Like it sounds bad. You hear a lot of people. You hear the sounds of crashing, like almost like tables are being flipped over and dishes are flying, clattering to the ground. You begin to hear the sounds of screaming, bloody screaming. What would you like to do next, Nick?
I'm gonna keep moving, see if there's like a service exit from the kitchen.
You also hear screaming outside.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I'm sorry. Was
They're
I not clear?
screaming out. No, sorry. They're screaming in the room that you were just in, right? That they were just in.
Yeah, it was like
And
an
they're
outdoorsy
screaming
type
outside.
area. Yeah.
Okay, so they're screaming both ways where we came from and where we're going.
Correct.
Fuck. Okay.
Well, this is a kitchen. I look for a big knife or blade.
Sure. I mean, it's a big fancy medieval type kitchen. They have lots of knives. I'll afford you that. Cisco, you currently have in your possession, I want to remind you, you have a map, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nick, you also have a stopwatch, I want to point out.
The stopwatch is at about 49 minutes right now.
Okay. Well, I'm going to look at the map, see where we are in conjunction to everything, and see if there's another, like, besides the main like way out, to see if there's like an emergency exit like that, or like a cellar exit or something.
So
Like a
there's
wine
no
cellar.
cellar exit, but there is a staircase that goes up, but it's heading back towards where you just were. So, but you would be like on the next level up of the room or the outside area that you were just in.
Okay.
If you were to take that or not.
Okay. What do you think, Nick?
Seems like the best idea that.
I mean, we can go up or we can try to fight our way out.
Let's see if we can hold out first and avoid having to fight.
Well, do you want to go up
occurs to
then?
me, sadly, in retrospect, that never. I'll save that till after the game. All right.
Okay.
Let's see if we can move up. Yeah, I'm following you. I'm going to examine this stopwatch a little more closely.
Okay, I'm going to grab a knife like Nick, and I'm going to grab a heavy pot lid.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a good idea.
Nick, upon closer inspection of the stopwatch, you notice that it does have like a button on the top, like a a timer watch or whatever, like to keep time with, like laps and whatnot if you were running. You know what I'm trying to describe, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You'll also notice that there is an extra hand on there, more than just the chew that shows the normal time that Cody's been mentioning. This one is smaller and a little bit less noticeable than the normal two. It's not moving either.
I'm going to experiment with the knobs and see what they do while we're moving. Preferably, I'm trying to. Yeah.
You can move the knob clockwise or counterclockwise. However, nothing appears to happen.
All right.
When you do so, I should note that third needle does in fact move one way or the other, depending on which way you're going. But nothing happens.
All right. If
Doesn't
nothing.
start or stop.
Right. Oh. I'm going. Well, if I continue to mess with it.
Uh-huh. You notice that there is a button on the top that you can be depressed as though you were like a stopwatch.
Yeah.
Because that's a stopwatch.
Oh, okay. Well, I definitely try hitting that and see what happens.
Before you do that, did you turn it counterclockwise or clockwise?
Let's see. I'm gonna say counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise. And about how far did you turn it? Like, if you can imagine a clock face, where is that needle sitting?
I have a pocket watch for demonstration purposes.
Nah, we're good.
Okay.
I'd say about 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Yeah.
You click the top of the stopwatch. Suddenly, time and space has come to a halt. Things around you get a little fuzzy and weird, and suddenly you find yourself 10 minutes in the past as you watch Cisco go up and start to sneak his way through into the kitchen. Suddenly, as I just mentioned, you're in the past 10 minutes ago.
Am I affected by this as well, or?
Yes, you're doing exactly what you were 10 minutes ago, and that's about to be sneaking into the kitchen.
Oh. Okay. Do I recollect that?
Yeah. Does
Nope.
he realize that
Nope.
time has?
Only Nick.
Whoa. I
How
don't have to use the
did you
bathroom
get
again, do
in
I?
here?
No, you do not. You didn't go back far enough to have to use the bathroom again.
So is he like standing in front of me where he was before? Like, how
This
did you
is-
get in here?
No, you wouldn't have no recollection of this. As far as you're concerned, the timeline of events has not changed.
But did
Well-
when Nick
Yeah. Do I move
reverse
backward
time,
in space?
did he also move back? Like, so is he also right next to Klayshen?
Nick is
trying
inhabiting, correct. Nick is inhabiting his 10 minutes ago body
Okay.
with the knowledge he currently has now.
Okay.
But as far as Klayshen knows, you both have
Okay.
just made the conscious decision to try and sneak into the kitchen.
Okay. I was thinking this was like a Hermione Granger, like you were here, but now you're there. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Okay. All right. So, from what I was telling you, shit's about to get real. We need to get the fuck out of here. What's your plan?
Well, my plan was to sneak out through the kitchen.
And it
That's still.
we
the
will
plan,
also
isn't it?
say that at this point, all of the screaming and stuff is back to not having happened.
Correct.
that's-
And
okay,
but
let's
I
go.
also should point out you still have the knife on you.
Huh. That's
w-
useful.
You were holding it when you clicked the stopwatch.
Hey.
Yeah.
So this stopwatch controls time, or seems to, or something like
Okay.
it. Yeah, no, that's kind of a nutty thing to say. Probably
I'm
think
not-
I'm nuts.
I woke up here and I have no fucking recollection of who I am or whatever. It makes perfect fucking sense. Let's do this shit.
Very accepting. Sure. What are you guys gonna do?
I
So-
have a weird suggestion.
What?
let's see, how long? How you said that the stopwatch was at 49 minutes. I am going to. What if we tried to back it up and see if we can leave before this whole thing started?
Okay.
Going the other way with it.
I'm going to does the stopwatch have like a chain?
I have.
Yes.
I also have another question. The map you found. Do you still have it?
Yeah, because I had it when we were
Okay,
sneaking
that's
into
right.
the thing. Okay, I'm gonna
Where did
hold
you
on to
find
the.
it?
I found it in the porta
Outhouse.
potties.
Yeah.
In the outhouse.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold on to the chain, or I'm gonna actually I'm gonna physically touch the thing as well.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if you know about this, something else happened. So
So I want to do. All right. So I'm gonna try backing it up to the start. I'm gonna take it back to like 3 minutes in. I don't want to set it back to 0 because that might create some kind of paradox.
3 minutes in what?
3 minutes, like, because you said the watch had already been running for.
Yeah, so when the simulation began,
Oh,
the
so he wants to
stopwatch
go-
was already counting 40
Okay.
minutes.
So he wants to go 3 minutes
before
from
this,
before.
before we started.
Oh, okay. Are you doing that?
Yeah.
Are you doing anything, Cisco?
He's touching
I'm
the
holding.
watch.
I'm holding.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm touching
We're
the
gonna see
watch
if by
as well.
both making contact with the watch we can both travel.
Okay. You click the button and things get fuzzy and weird all around you as time and space begin to morph. Suddenly you two are separated and you wake up in what can only be described as a test tube, like a metal cylinder tube awash with green light. You hear, now that you're conscious, you can kind of see the fuzzy outline of some shadowy figures through your tube's viewing port, as it were.
Mhm.
And you can clearly hear them arguing. Damn it, Cody, they found the fucking watch. What are we going to do about this?
Well, I don't know. I mean, they got the knives, but they're not stopping. Like, we sent them there to stop the calamity, and they're just running away from it. Like,
I know, right? Well,
I thought they were
mean,
more brave than this. I mean,
you wanted them to stop the calamity. I kind of just wanted to see what the fuck would happen.
I'm gonna try to stab the.
No,
the
you're
door.
inside. No, you're inside the test tube.
Can I not? I have the knife in the shield still. Like, can I not?
no, you lost that stuff because when
Oh shit!
when you
Yeah.
went back in time, you were not touching the
Shit,
thing.
okay.
So,
Fuck. Okay.
but Nick should still have his knife.
Right. That is correct. But you do still have the map, Cisco. Let's make that clear.
I've got the map.
Yeah.
Can I pull up the map and look?
Sure.
Does the map
Are you-
change to where we are currently?
When you look at the map, the previous outlines of structures and field and the X and the we strike at whatever, all that starts to morph and turn and dissipate and rearrange itself, and you get what looks like a very different map. Suddenly it looks like one of those fire escape maps in like a hotel. Like it says, there's an arrow that says you are here and a labyrinth before you. Like, it is a lot. You're not going to be able to memorize it. It's just too much. Like it's big. You
Okay.
are, yeah. But yes, the map did change, and I'm very proud of you. Nick, what are you doing?
Let's see. I guess at this point, like, because I'm trying to think what I wanted to do is, I mean, we're kind of stuck in this tube. We're kind of stuck in this tube until it discharges us, correct?
Yes, there's no shot that you're getting out of it.
Oh yeah. In that case, like, I'm gonna wait because that actually aligns with what I want to do. I actually do want to get back in there because I was operating under the assumption that we were in an immutable situation, and it occurred to me that it doesn't have to be.
You're just going to wait.
Take a nap.
I have an idea.
Take a nap. Okay.
I have an idea, Nick. When I meet you, I have an idea.
Yeah.
Well, you guys can't talk to each other right now.
I know,
You're
but I
inside.
have my character's like. I just had a brilliant. My character just had a brilliant idea in the tube because I know about the watch. I'm like,
So Nick is abstaining. Klayshen, is there anything you want to do before we continue?
I want to get a good look at the two people who are arguing.
It's a bit too, like, it's not exactly easy to make out. It's very fuzzy. It's very dark. But you can clearly tell, you hear a very masculine, handsome voice, and you hear a very attractive, intelligent voice, and they're still arguing. Damn it, Codey! Like, take that thing from him. Like, you're supposed to just give him something easy, and you draw the stopwatch on the second episode. What are you doing?
It's not my fault. I didn't make the stopwatch.
Also, now it's on me.
Yeah.
Now it's on me. Okay.
It always is.
Well, fine. Be that way. You know what? Let's just shoot them into scenario 2 here.
Okay.
And
Let's just try it again.
Is
Yeah.
there any lever or anything I can open the thing from the inside or no?
No. Why would we design something with such a way? Momputer, please load the testing chamber and fire it into the testing site number 2, please.
Can we ask Momputer not to call them piggies this time, please?
Alert! Alert! Clear the testing area. Dum-dum, engaged. Alert! Alert! Test subject engaged.
Okay, I'm happy.
The Momputer loads up the test subjects, the dum-dums, and fires them back into the testing site. Suddenly, a rush of energy washes over you both, and you both wake up seated in opposite pews at a familiar wedding, dressed in onesies. Nick, you're dressed as a yak, and Klayshen, you're dressed as a little purple dragon.
Such a familiar feeling.
I'm gonna go immediately to Nick and sit down beside him and be like, okay. Do you
Still
remember
got
what
the
I
map?
remember? Yes. Okay, so the stopwatch. You turn it back, we go back in time. You turn it forward, we go forward in time. Put it directly in
I
the
haven't
middle.
tried forward. I'm kind of scared
Okay.
to, but
Put it directly in the middle and press it.
hold
Does
on.
it pause time?
Oh, that's
Is that what you're doing?
I try it.
Everything around you comes to a screeching halt.
Yes. All right,
That's
let's
pretty
get the
useful.
fuck out of Dodge.
Hold on, because you've got the map,
Okay,
and we know that someone's planning to try to kill.
and we
people at this
have
wedding.
infinite time now.
What I'm saying is, we need to, at the very least, even if we're gonna nope out of here, we should try to get that map into someone's hands. Like, someone needs to know.
You mean to reverse pickpocket into the king snap? Because I mean, this is his wedding. Like, the dude who's getting married.
Just shoot tape to the front of the flipping pew. I don't, or the podium, so where someone will see it. Like, we know that if as long as we got to put it somewhere where someone might see it.
I mean, I could put it in the ring box.
Oh, that would be pretty.
I want to
dastardly.
interject here. The map is a bit too large to fit within the
Okay.
small confines of a ring box.
You also don't know who is striking.
Well, I don't think somebody would be striking at his own wedding.
He might be. I mean, he could be trying to kill the guests he doesn't like. Get rid of the in-laws while it's still early.
While you
Hmm.
technically have infinite time in this stopped prison of a world, I just want to point out that we do not have infinite time to hash this out.
Yeah, it's already. Yeah, it's kind of late.
Okay, how about this? How about we figure out a way to get out of our test tubes and then overpower the hosts and take over the show?
I suspect there's probably some.
Are we
safeguards
2
against that.
episodes in and there's already people trying to
You
take
can
over?
try. You can try. You are certainly welcome to try.
Because when we were in the test tubes, the map changed. I know the way out of that facility. I've got a person on the inside. Her name is Benny. She's a watcher just like me. Look for the crusty fedora.
This has got a bit off the rails, I feel.
Give someone time powers and see what happens. Nick, the choice
Yes.
is yours. What are you choosing to do here?
Let's see. Well, I'd still like to. All right, you know what? Hey, I want to go check the outhouses again. Is that guard gonna try to stop me?
Yeah.
You're wait. So
Time's paused.
you're going to go check the outhouses?
I want to. I want to see if I can duplicate the map.
Where did you
basically.
find the watch? Can we just duplicate watches?
Oh my god.
No.
Yeah, I fully.
We have figured out the item duplication glitch.
No. You both arrive at the respective locations of the stopwatch and the map, and they are not there. They are temporal singularities. They can only exist one at a time. However, you do see a very strange individual. He's dressed almost like he doesn't belong in this time era. He's wearing a black tank top and he's heavily tattooed. Jet black hair, poorly cut. Yeah, and that's what he looks like. But he's, again, frozen in time, as it were.
Okay, well, I'm gonna start the stopwatch back up then, so you can
Yeah.
see where this guy goes.
You start the stopwatch and he vanishes instantly.
Damn it!
Pause it.
Pause it again. See if he comes back.
He doesn't come back because you paused it. He's already vanished at this point.
All right. Back it up a minute.
Okay. You play with time until you can get it to where you see the man place and presumably what would have been the stopwatch in a location and the map in a location.
Should we just follow him around and see what else he places around
He's
this
gonna
building?
vanish.
Okay.
It's because clearly he vanishes after he places this stuff. Well, that's
True.
interesting.
Does at any point does he talk? I'm assuming it's you. Does at any point do you talk?
It's not me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway, does this very attractive and tattooed man talk?
Not that you can tell. A couple of
Okay.
times maybe he puts his hand to his ear as though someone's like nagging at him constantly about time in his ear.
I'm just
Like,
trying to figure out
hurry
if
it
it's the
up.
same person.
I don't know.
Oh, I have an idea. Nick.
Okay.
We need to freeze him, right? We need to go grab a hold of him and then unpause time.
All right. Why not? Let's try it.
Let's see if he'll rip us out to the real world.
Hello.
Oh. Cody, that's an 18 for the mysterious gentleman. Will you draw a skull card for our friends here?
Oh,
So you guys try your stunt, and and when you do morph to somewhere else, but the handsome tattooed gentleman is gone. You are in a cell, and in the cell with you is Hatless Freddy.
You both suddenly awaken in your testing cells, completely aware that something bizarre has happened. A loop has gone awry. Oh boy, you can't help but notice the very burnt and crispy man standing before you. I want to point out that in the room with you is, in fact, a knife, a stopwatch, a map, a egg, and a crusty fedora.
my fedora.
What are you guys gonna do?
Well, they're in their tubes, right? Do their tubes open in the room?
They are free in the room.
Okay, you're free in the room.
Okay.
Kind of like how we ended last time.
Okay. First of all, I'm going to give the crusty fedora to Hatless Freddy because
Oh,
nobody
nice.
deserves to be hatless. 2, if we can get the power of a sleep god on our side, we may win.
Freddy accepts the hat with the snarl. He lifts up one of his bladed fingies to his cheek with a devilish grin, and he says, "You only get one." And then he vanishes without a trace. The egg has started to open.
Pause that shit.
And that's where we're going to pause our adventure this time.
Yeah.
Tune in here in a couple weeks to see what happens if our test subjects continue, or who our test subjects even are. Wow, we got so deep into lore already. Bravo, gentlemen.
You should have known not to bring me on this podcast.
I am so pleased. But thank you so much for listening. You can follow Klayshen and Watchers of the Stuff at all their links below. Nicodemus Rex at the For Real Deal on DeviantArt. All that stuff will be down there. Codey at Codey Mathis.
Correct.
Yep, Codey Mathis at Twitter. I know things. And you can follow me to bed, because that's where I'll see you, darling. And that's gonna be it for Let's Die, baby. We'll see you here in a few weeks. And
Bye.
remember, if we're gonna die,
Let's
Let's
die
die
together.
together.
Woo!
Close enough to all of them.
Yeah.
I cannot believe y'all tried to break the game on episode 2.
You know, I believe it because you made one of them shit themselves. So I
we
mean,
didn't even
really,
get to.
really,
We didn't even
like
get to the massacre.
5 minutes in, you try and make one of them shit themselves, and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna shit
That's-
all over your game."
Look,
Like-
that's the beauty of D&D. I hadn't even thought of that angle until he mentioned the bathroom, and then I'm like, oh, maybe he has intestinal distress. Let's give him a little god intestinal distress. D&D with free will, man. You never know where it's gonna go. That's why it's the greatest game that's ever existed.
Yeah,
we didn't get to. We
that
didn't get to
episode
the
had
red
nothing
wedding.
to do with
We
House
didn't
of the
get-
Dragon.
I tried. The heart of the cards was in such Nick's favor that it gave him a game-breaking, one of the few game-breaking items.
It's
Is that what
mod the other game
stopwatch
breaking
is?
item.
It's a time thing. Well, it's gone. It's out of the deck now. So
It's out of the deck. It's out of the deck. He still has it now, right now, though.
but
I don't wanna-
yeah.
I don't want to ruin it because this is the end bit before people stop listening, but they'll have to tune in to see what happens.
To be fair, I was like,
I stopped recording.
honestly,
Oh.
that's fine.
I'll go ahead and tell you guys.